The International Movement for Leisure Activities in Science and Technology, MILSET, welcomes you to the MILSET World Virtual Summit 2021. We're very excited because this is our last day and it has been a full week of surprises, activities. We have gathered a lot of MILSET members, heard what they have to say about the organization, their proposals for a better future of MILSET, and of course, we have been gathering a lot of people from social media and people who have registered to this great event in roundtables, in conferences, and fantastic workshops that we have been displaying for all the public. Thank you very much for joining us, for being part of this great event, for interacting in the workshops and in the conferences. Today, it's, as I told you, the last day of activities. We will have conferences and the closing ceremony. Don't miss anything of this day to join us, to close and to learn what do you have to say about this activity. Thank you very much. I would like to thank also all the people who worked very hard to make this event possible. Thank you to the MILSET Executive Committee, the MILSET Regional Executive Committees, Movimiento STEM, UPAEP University, our sponsors, volunteers, and MILSET staff who have been working very hard for you. Thank you very much. Now, I would like to present myself. My name is Liz Vela, MILSET Communication Manager, and I am very excited to hear the next conference. But before I will go with Bere is MILSET Managing Director, and she will present the speaker of the next conference. Bere, the mic is yours.
Thank you so much, Liz. It's amazing to be here, and so sadly because it's the last day after a lot of work. But I'm so happy also to receive our next speaker. And well, first I would like to make a words, because this pandemic has changed many things and has changed our way that we are doing things. And basically in the education and in all the people that decided and do STEAM projects. So today we are so glad to bring you, to all of you, a new way, a possibility for all your STEAM projects. So I am glad to receive Renata Vaccaro. Renata is a Chief Technology Officer at Engineering.com, whose mission is to inform, inspire, and engage engineering minds to be and do better. She's also co-founder of ProjectBoard, that is a customizable platform for STEAM events. So in this moment, I'm so glad to receive you, Renata. The mic is yours.
Good morning. Thank you so much for that introduction. I'm honored to be here alongside this impressive group of speakers. Today, we're going to be talking about how the digital creativity sparked by COVID-19 has changed physical events forever. So my name is Renata Vaccaro, and my background is in computer science. I have been working in technology for over 20 years now, leading teams for more than a decade. ProjectBoard, as was mentioned, is a platform for hybrid science fairs and STEM events, and our mission is to have every STEM project in the world in one place. Today, we're going to talk about what our new normal will look like, how virtual platforms, sorry, I don't think it switched, are recreating but also enhancing STEM fairs. And we're also going to talk about hybrid events and the future of STEM fairs. For the past 2 years, world events have been almost 100% remote. And perhaps some of your events have been something like this.
It's actually differentiates within here. I'm going to show off my technical abilities here. I have no idea where I'm going.
Thank you, Freddie. It's great to be here at Octane. I never thought my first keynote presentation would be from the home office.
Hey guys, you don't want to hear this, but my QuickTime is blurry again. My hand's in focus, so it's like it's focusing. Oh, so I just won't move.
I'm gonna dress people. My husband was like, Where are you going? What are you doing?
That's perfect. Just to confirm, that red button turned gray, and it's now a little stop symbol, correct?
No, it didn't
Is
do
it
that.
still red?
It's now circling repeatedly here.
What should we do now, Doug?
Yeah, what do we do now? Did it work? Have I done the right thing?
Yep. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing and make sure everyone's muted.
My name is Ryan. I'm really good at this. March 26th, take 2.
Alyssa Smicker, also really good at this. Take 2. We'll be here all day. Thanks. And then there's a sign that says, when life gives you lemons, add tequila and lime. Can I keep that? On top of hearing General Powell talk about persevering through hard times, I love one particular part of that talk where he said, no matter what problems you have one day, it will be better in the morning.
So while there are hiccups with remote events, we have seen incredible creativity and reach and have learned that they're here to stay. Science fairs debuted in 1942. Today, 10 million projects are presented annually, but as you can see, prior to COVID, they really hadn't changed. Why is that a problem? Because students are working on incredible projects and only few know about them. Top tier physical fairs are a barrier to those who cannot afford to attend, and physical fairs limit the audience that can give critical feedback to students. COVID has been devastating in so many ways for my children, for children everywhere. They've lost almost 2 years of their short childhoods. But from a technology perspective, we were forced to fast forward. We at ProjectBoard had been talking to Youth Science Canada about having a virtual aspect to their fair for a couple of years, and I joke that it took a pandemic for them to go virtual. Rennie's here laughing in the background. Like many fairs, they're a small nonprofit team, and they were busy with the physical fair. We helped them go online in 2020, and we've heard from them that they will always have an online offering going forward. The new world order and what that will look like. Virtual events are here to stay. ISIF said we have opened the virtual floodgates and will never be able to close them. One study found that 45% of B2B events will be completely virtual going forward. Some of the reasons cited for why virtual is here to stay is that, one, they're pandemic proof, which it's sad that that's something we have to think about now, but I guess that's our new normal for now, at least. It's globally accessible and it's much more cost effective. Even for a hybrid event, the cost could be dramatically reduced with some of the participants or even the speakers being virtual. And construction just started in the background. There are almost 10 times the number of platform offerings for virtual events on the G2 review platform since the pandemic started, and reviews of those offerings have increased almost 3,000%. The success from our own customers show you why companies are including virtual event strategies in their budgets going forward. As an example, for ISIF, there were over 150,000 visitors and almost 30,000 comments made from countries all around the world. Now we're going to talk about how we can recreate aspects of an in-person fair. For the record, I don't think virtual is a replacement for in-person, but that's not always possible. And I do think having a digital twin of your first physical event is important, and we'll talk about why. Let's start with the most important part of a STEM fair, the projects. And here are some traditional project boards. With a virtual project, users are still able to customize the look and feel of their booth, work as a team on the project, and the bonus is that They're not constrained to the size of a physical project board, causing them to resort to 8-point font. And their project board can consist of many different medias, such as videos, files, and whiteboards. Now let's consider the venue itself. Here are some traditional STEM fairs. And next we'll look at some examples of virtual spaces. So as you can see, with virtual, you can be more playful with colors and movement, and you can give the feeling of a physical space. Exhibit halls can be arranged in ways that are familiar to users to navigate. For example, on ProjectBoard, we use a Netflix arrangement, but I've seen other platforms that have done a bird's eye view of a hall. One of the biggest draws to a STEM event are the speakers and being in the audience. This can be recreated with VR-like platforms. One example is Event Farm, where you attend the conference as an avatar. Virtual presentations can more easily be streamed and recorded, and visitors can comment on the videos as they're happening and share their experiences with peers. Visitors can also replay the video or watch it at their leisure instead of at a scheduled time. When we worked with ISEF in the beginning of 2021, they mentioned in passing that it was a shame that the kids would not be able to participate in their pin swap event, where kids collected pins from each other and then they later would showcase them on the walls of their room, for example. And we thought, hang on, there has to be a way we can make this virtual. And when we did, we had no idea how well it would be received. So every time a pin was swapped, the user would get an email. To give you some context, it brought down our email server because we had 150,000 email per day limit. We quickly doubled that and hit the limit again. So now we pretty much don't have a limit. We talked about how we can recreate aspects of a physical fair, and now we're going to talk about creative ideas to enhance the fair experience. One of the things that we were aware of is that moving to a fair online, you are losing the person who is standing in front of the booth to talk to. But we realized a virtual booth that has space for engagement, it actually expands the opportunities for interactions. At a live fair, you may get seconds to talk to someone, if at all. When I go to a physical fair, I often hesitate to talk to people at their booths because I feel unsure or rushed, and text chat is much more approachable for introverts like me. Something that people don't always think about is that physical events are not always accessible. I went to an event right before COVID, and it did have an automatic door opener, but it was broken. And at this particular event, there wasn't much traffic going in and out, and it was a cold winter in Canada. And if you've experienced winter in Canada, you know that you don't want to be standing outside for 1 minute. And someone in a wheelchair would have to be waiting outside a long time at the door. Virtual events allow participations to visit from home, and there are website features that provide things like screen readers, so visually impaired can navigate an event. Communication for physical events can be challenging without a virtual tool to help. Virtual platforms allow for the entire community to chat together and connect. During the Canada-wide Science Fair events, we have seen students ask each other for help and say hi from across the country. Platform notifications allow participants to increase and maintain engagement beyond the event. Participants can bookmark projects and follow users to get notifications about updates on the projects or about new work a participant has created. Students spend a lot of time on their STEM projects, and the work is incredible. It's such a shame that when the event is over, the physical boards get tossed. And having a profile as part of a STEM competition allows participants to build a portfolio that they can develop over time, and the profile can be shared with prospective universities or employers, as well as family and peers. At a physical event, booths are put in a spot and are there to stay for the duration of the event. With a virtual platform, booths can easily be moved to allow new exhibitors to be featured daily or even hourly. One of the best aspects of a virtual event, at least the ones that the kids love the best, is the opportunity for gamification. Participants and guests could get badges, participate in scavenger hunts, and get to the top of the leaderboard, to name a few examples. Okay, now we're going to get a sneak peek of some of the exciting features that we have brainstormed, the ProjectBoard team. But this is just a start. I mentioned that there are all these platforms popping up working on virtual software. And imagine all those companies around the world are putting all of their creativity into how to make hybrid events as amazing as they can be. So you could have an exhibit hall floor plan to preview booths, bookmarks the ones you want to visit, plan a route, and use an app to show you your location in the physical space. QR codes could be posted on a booth so that you get easy access to the virtual project, and conversations can continue way beyond the physical event. Printing of a virtual project means that participants do not need to duplicate or do extra work. And once they print their project, they can arrange their sections on their physical project boards. Sponsors especially appreciate the analytics that can be gained from a virtual event, from how many people visited their booth to who specifically visited. Okay, so in case all of those benefits that I've talked about were not enough, we have some more. Many of you know the challenge of finding judges for an event. I have been a judge at a physical STEM competition and have been reluctant to do so again, given the massive time commitment. In contrast, I was a judge for the Canada-wide Science Fair virtual event, and the experience was exceptionally better. I didn't have to take multiple days off work to participate. I didn't have to travel. I was able to look at projects more thoroughly in the comfort of my home, and I was better prepared to ask questions to the students during the interviews. Organizations that we work with say they will never go back to in-person judging. Virtual events have zero constraints on time and space, especially for interactions between participants and guests. We touched on this already, but a virtual event means there can be global audience and unlimited potential for participation. One of the most important benefits of a virtual event, especially for small events with a small budget, is the opportunities for sponsorship. These are really endless. Some examples could be that a sponsor could have a booth, or they could sponsor a category. And as I mentioned before, this can all be dynamic. So on day one, company X could sponsor a category, and then on day two, company Y could. Okay, so we've reached the most exciting part of the presentation, in my opinion, and that's where we're going to talk about the future of STEM fairs. My team has put a lot of thought into what can happen in our new world, and I'd love to share our ideas with you. I mentioned that ProjectBoard's vision is to have every STEM project in the world in one place, and we created a video to give you an idea of what we're talking about. And fingers crossed the video works. What's that? Okay. Is everything okay? The end didn't come through?
Yeah.
Okay. Not sure what happened, but so here we go. Our vision and what we've already started talking to Youth Science Canada about after forming a partnership with them is starting with an idea, conceptualize, analyze, get feedback, adapt, submit their idea to a showcase, and then have their idea live beyond the event. And our dream is that the ideas start in the classroom, then they compete in the school fair, the board fair, then the regional, national, and finally the international, moving seamlessly from one event to another, and then back to the classroom for its next iteration. And on top of that, all the work becomes part of the student's portfolio for years to come. To sign off, I want to share one more video, hopefully this one works, that ISEF created to commemorate their 2021 event. This video shows how a virtual event can be connected and fun.
Life can be wedding cake. Get out and let it go. Up north in Mexico, everywhere can be our home. This is my life. This is your life. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. We are gold. Me and all my friends. Oh. We're young and full of life. We gotta do it right. Stardust is in our hands. Let's fly like Peter Pan. From London to Japan. This is my life. This is your life. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. We are gold. Me and all my friends. Oh.
Sadly, I'm positive that most of these kids would not dance together if they were in person. Oops. Oh, that's it. Trying to go to the next slide. Okay. Thank you, and happy to answer any questions. Is there a possibility? Okay, yeah.
I think what I can get from this, and I have a phrase you said, this is the best of both worlds. That's right. We're on the virtual, face-to-face, and at the end, we're going to keep this dynamic of being in the both sides, virtual side, which has been, which is, as you are explaining, easier to get with information, numbers, analyze all this data that having things virtually will give us to improve the way you make a science fair in this case. And on the other side, well, maybe continuing enhancing and challenging guys and kids to gather together face-to-face too, to interact with these social skills are very important. So thank you very much, Renata. I will check if we have some questions in the chat. Give me 1 second. But well, before we check that, I would like to let you know, all the people who are watching at us, it's Chile, Argentina, Brazil, Paraguay, Peru, Costa Rica, Mexico, Puerto Rico, Cuba, the USA, Canada, Bulgaria, Venezuela, Ecuador, Spain, Portugal, Morocco, South Africa, Namibia, the UK, the USA, Germany, Belgium, Latvia, Russia, and many greetings from Mexico, from Chile, from Argentina. And well, now we go to the question and answer section of the people in the team session, the MILSET World Virtual Summit participants. Do you have any questions? Please open your mics. I know this is a very useful tool that Renata has explained, because now we are doing a lot of science fairs virtually and activities, so it's your time to ask all the questions you want. Raise your hands, I'm checking. Not in the chat. Okay, I have a question from social media. It says, how do you use these platforms to protect the information and scientific knowledge generated by young people?
That is a very, very good question, and we get that a lot. And what we are hoping for is, a complete disruption to that thinking of ideas should be kept secret, and a new thinking that sharing ideas and getting feedback on those ideas is much more valuable than working by yourself in secret. Projects can be worked on privately or with select team members, and sometimes an event may choose to have the projects be private or just available to a closed community.
Thank you very much, dear. Yeah, nowadays taking care of the information is very, very important, but you're right. Sharing, it's also important for everybody to develop more things and not start from zero.
To make your ideas better.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you very much. The next one, it's what interaction have they detected that has the greatest impact on young audiences?
What is the
which activity or interaction?
The interaction is from the judges, actually, and mentors and their feedback. The youth value that the most. They appreciate feedback from their peers, but they're always looking to make their projects better. And that happens with the feedback of mentors and or judges.
Great, thank you very much. Another question is how people can have access to this material?
The presentation?
Yeah, about the platforms, I think.
Yeah, so you can learn about ProjectBoard at projectboard.world. That's our URL. And maybe this presentation can be made available later, but you can also contact me at renata@engineering.com.
Thank you very much, Renata. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people will want to contact you because we are living in this era with these situations of having our science fair with more people and more engaging, not boring, and so I think it's very, very important. Thank you very much for sharing your information. I would like to ask Stefan, please open your mic. Stefan from Team Session wants to ask a question.
I have the following question. Can we say, or do you actually think, what is your opinion about that? Can we say that pushed or driven by the pandemics, now we are kind of experiencing the beginning of the end of the conventional events, international events, or at least at global level?
Mm-hmm. That's a really good question. I don't think so. I think that people still miss the face-to-face being together, but I believe that the events will be hybrid and have a digital twin available so that it's just more accessible in so many ways, whether it be financial or time commitments. And yeah, I don't think physical events will go away. I mean, we did hear that 45% of B2B events are going to be completely virtual, and that kind of makes sense for a B2B event. But I think events with youth in particular, they really do get a lot of value out of being physically face-to-face. You just form deeper connections that way.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I don't know if Reni, Carol, or Guy, who are in the meeting, would like to ask or something or give some words. Are you there? Carol?
Yeah, thank you for that great presentation. I'm sure that a lot of our members at MILSET are actually asking themselves, what kind of a budget do I need to put a project board, in my own country?
Yeah, it really depends on the level of customization that you want, but you can think of it as a $25 per project budget. In most cases, it's somewhere around there.
Thank you. Really, really important answer for all of our members.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, no problem.
Yeah, indeed, there was a question in the chat that says that if this is a free platform or there are free platforms for small organizations to use. Good.
If you go to, there goes my doorbell. If you go to projectboard.world, anybody can start a project for free. They can work on a project privately or publicly, and the cost starts to be involved when people want landing pages or their own communities or what have you. But you can go to projectboard.world and share your project for free.
Thank you very much, Renata. If you could help us to write that on the chat of the team session, will be fantastic. Thank you very much. We have another question. Okay, I think Reni, are you there? Could you share with us your experience using these platforms in the young? Yeah, are you there or not? Is he there? No? I think we lost Reni. Okay, if he gets in, I would like him to give some words. I know he has a lot of things to say about this. So for Judge Science Canada, he has also used a lot of things. Well, I think we have that's all the questions we have for today. Thank you very much, Renata, for your time and for your openness to give us information about you and about the platform you're working on. Thank you very much. We will stay in the session with the participants some minutes. And for the people who are watching live through MILSET Facebook and MILSET YouTube channel and other partners' channels, thank you very much, and don't miss the next conference from NASA. Thank you very much. See you in a couple of minutes. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.